You're such an asshole.
Perceptions matter. In the world of finance, women can find themselves at a disadvantage, their careers stymied by overt sexism and implicit bias alike. The paucity of senior positions held by women in banks and other financial firms, which a recent Financial Times survey put at less than 26, would seem to underscore that belief. No, you women how many women go to Wharton and study finance? Let me know that one. As the first female investment officer at Soros, Miss Fitzpatrick becomes a woman with few peers. Most everyone managing such a large pot of money on the Wall Street is a man. Miss Fitzpatrick said that on the whole, she has not felt discriminated against because of her gender at the work. See, but you girls are still gonna fucking go with that narrative, right? You fucking sexism professional victim whores are still gonna go with this narrative. She just told you she does it, but you're gonna spin an entire article about it this way, aren't you? At UBS, Miss Fitzpatrick kept a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes, I don't know what that means, under her desk, but often walked around the office barefoot. A display of her confidence. No, a display of a lack of hygiene, I would say. She's like, oh, God, put the shoes on, lady. It's not confidence. I just want to be comfortable. Clearly, there are single moments in time when I would rather have been a 6'3" blonde-haired ex-football playing guy, she said, but those tended to be offset by the times when I thought it was an advantage to be a woman. She's even saying that it's better to be a woman. Ms. Fitzpatrick says women have innately useful qualities when it comes to money management. One of the things I believe women have more of. Typical women authors takes forever. This is New York Times, remember. This is supposed to be the best writing, the best of the best writers. They waited to get to their main point. Why don't you girls just save everybody the long and painful resume analysis and just get to where you want? Just get to the money shot, okay? Just get to where you want to go. One of the things I believe women have more of is humility in their investments, she said. We'll cut losers quicker in a more effective way than generally men will. Indeed, some studies suggest that women are more successful risk managers than men. Oh, some studies. Well, I'm sure you girls just went up and looked up those studies, didn't you? Yet Miss Fitzpatrick also caught herself masking her femininity to keep up with. She just told you. She just told you it didn't really matter. She has moved on. She doesn't view the world with the tainted glasses of sexism that you fucking journalism, leftist feminist whores do. She's got a real career. She makes real money, real decisions, providing real value to her employers and her clients. And you girls over at the New York Times are still stuck in this 15, 20-year-old the glass ceiling bullshit. I mean, when you play another tune? Hey, look, I like Huey Lewis in the news, but I get pretty fucking sick and tired if all he played was I Want a New Drug the entire time at a concert. Do you have nothing new? Do you not have, you girls are so educated, you're so intelligent, you're so edgy, then why do you write the same broken record bullshit all the time? And you're the New York Times! The New York fucking Times! I mean, I understand if you were like Jezebel or Exo Jane, like the MGTOWs, just jerking off to your pud every day over the same shit because it makes you feel good because you got a mental problem. That's how you treat it. You self-medicate. I understand. But the false pretense that the New York Times is a entity of journalism, that you guys are doing, that you're introducing new thoughts, new philosophies, new news. It's the same mind-numbing, broken record bullshit. I want a new drug. 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 I mean, come on, really? That'd be torture after a while if I just, we grab some Al-Qaeda terrorists. What should we do? We'll just play this one song, I Want a New Drug by Huey Lewis in the News. Just that one segment right there, the entire time for hours on end. And it's just proof positive that these girls, I'm not even through the rest of the article, but the rest of the article is all about Miss Fitzpatrick being a woman and blah, 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 grass. We don't even have to sing I Want a New Drug anymore. But my point is, the news not being about the news, but what the news is about being the news, is Alexandra Stevenson and Kate Kelly. Who are these people? Who are they? Why is there another fucking article about the glass ceiling, even when the subject of their article says, there's no glass ceiling for me. And they still spin it. So if you want to say, this is it, this is a tell, guys, I told you, people will tell you what you need to know about them. Poisonous animals will show you their colors. And so already you know, without having to look these people up, you already know that when we go look at Alexandra Stevenson and Kate Kelly, these are not engineers. They are certainly no Miss Dawn Fitzpatricks. How much you want to bet they're just the sea of common millennial Gen X women who work in media and have nothing new or of value. Nothing new or of value to offer society. Just the same bullshit. And I wish it was new. I wish they came up with this on their own. They were programmed to. From the day of kindergarten, back when Dawn Fitzpatrick, since the day of kindergarten through college, it's the same shit. They don't advance anything. They're worthless. They offer no value. I had to look up Kate Kelly first because there's a bunch of different Kate Kellys, one of which is a feminist. That is not the one. This is the Kate Kelly, Wall Street writer and New York Times author, occasional TV broadcaster, mother and wife. Now, you would think I'm on the Twitter profile now. She's got 50,000 followers on Twitter. All right? I'm thinking like, oh, she's on TV. She's a TV broadcaster. She writes for the Wall Street. Oh, no, she doesn't write for Wall Street Journal. She writes for a Wall Street writer. And she's a New York Times author. All right, now, she has books out. Now, this is the asset I wish I had. You give me this background. You give me this number of followers. You give me a profile and a platform, like being a TV broadcaster and a New York Times writer, an author. I would make so much bank. Because I would write such quality shit. But Kate Kelly just regurgitates the same bullshit. So let's go to the numbers, shall we? Kate Kelly's got some books. Yeah, because she's going to write some books. So you'd think, well, she's got the platform. She's got the magic formula. She's got the magic ingredients. This is what when I was in radio for that brief stint of time, I'm like, holy cow, if I could become like a Rush Limbaugh, if I could become a Dennis Prager, if I just want some money, I had Michael Savage. Every time Michael Savage needs a couple extra million, he just writes a book and all of his followers buy it. Not that I'd become a Michael Savage or a Rush Limbaugh, but if I could just get enough, I could get 53,000 Twitter followers, I'd be set for life. So how much bank, how much raw talent has she delivered? What kind of products has she made that are empirical and evidence of her ability, her insight, and writing? She's a journalist, she's a professional writer, professional author, right? So she must be able to blow me out of the water. Well, here we go. She's got 2 books out, okay? Remember, this is if you gave old Captain an F-15 fighter plane. All right, what has she done? She's got Street Fighters by Kate Kelly. How's the number of reviews? 45 reviews. My worst book has half that. My best book has 5 times that. You're telling me? Here, look, New York Times bestseller, Street Fighter. Is that a New York Times bestseller? You work at the New York Times. You have the ear of people on the New York Times bestseller list. You have access to Wall Street. You write a book on finance. And you have television or TV broadcaster. And you can't even pull off what some dipshit out in fucking Minnesota can with the fucking... You wonder why? Because you're not that good. Ultimately, your book is not that good. Nobody wanted to read. Okay, let's go to the next book. What else has old Kate got here? The Secret Club That Runs the World. You think with a juicy topic like that, that'd get some people. 56 reviews, 3.5 stars. Gee, I wonder if it's because Kate Kelly, you and Alexandra Stevenson don't have a real core to you. You truly are the talking head. You journalists truly are just the pretty face that reads the teleprompter that tells what's going to happen in the news or what's going to happen with the weather. And when you laughably try to write something of your own creation, it's shit. It's absolute shit. Just like this New York Times article you wrote. It's not new. It's not interesting. Like, if you wrote something like this in 1950, obviously Miss Fitzpatrick would not be there, but using a different catalyst or a vehicle to highlight, yeah, that might have been new. That might have been brave. It's not fucking brave. What's worse is it's fucking programmed. It's not. You are the antithesis of independent-minded. Everything you claim to be, everything the New York Times claims to be, you are the opposite. You're a conformist. You don't think. You just regurgitate. You parrot. You read the teleprompter. You read and tell people, oh, is that what you want me to say, Miss Professor so-and-so? All right. My teacher said that I'm in a... How this gal looks like she's in her 40s. Do you have something new? I guarantee you this gal's my age, roughly my age. This feminist bullshit has been shoved up our asses. I remember, what was it, the third grade, maybe the second or fourth grade? Our teachers, we were playing basketball. And the boys would play basketball onto themselves, and the girls would play basketball because the girls just didn't have the testosterone or the skill. We didn't mind the girls playing basketball. So, they thought my teacher, Miss Coors, I don't know where she is. I trust you me. I have tried to find her. She thought it'd be funny to take the top 5 basketball players. There were some really good athletes in the school. Even at that age, there's some very good athletes. She took the top 5 boys, made them wear wigs, and then play This is in the 80s, the mid-early 80s. And made them play basketball against like the other 5 boys. And they just kicked their asses because they were that much better. They say, now you know what it's like to be beat by a girl. This shit has been going on since Reagan's first fucking administration. Do you think it's getting old, Kate Kelly? Huh? You think you got anything new going on here? Or are you just taking shit that you've been told for 30 years and it literally is like, hey, this stew has been sitting on the oven for 30 years. Old Kate Kelly comes in there, stirs it around a bit, and because she stirred it around, instead of just taking the ladle and pulling it out, she's like, well, this is new, I stirred it. It's new. Now let's go to Alexandra Stevenson. Took a little digging. We find her Twitter follower. Okay, 4,000 Twitter followers. About the same as old Captain here. Right? And when I can't use because it doesn't look like she's written any books, but she works at the New York Times. Still only 4,000 Twitter followers, huh? I'd expect a little bit more. But let's see if she's got herself a nice little background. Found an article. Alexandra Stevenson, who is a London-based reporter for the Financial Times covering European markets. Alex started at the Financial Times 3 years ago. And what year is this? This is 2013, so she's 2010. So what is she? She's not as old as me or Kate. But yeah, older millennial, younger Gen Xer, younger Gen Xer, older millennial. 3 years in the paper Southeast Asia Bureau in New Delhi. She has been a writer for Beyond Bricks, the paper's emerging markets blog, and has been a company's beat reporter in London. A Canadian who was born in the United States, Alex has a special interest in China, where she studied at Peking University and worked at the now defunct. Well, maybe she's fluent. I'm wondering how she got there. Did Daddy pay for you to study overseas? And now defunct Asia Weekly magazine, and as a freelancer for various broadcast outlets. In the category of lessons learned, work for an authoritarian regime. During a brief stint with China Radio International state broadcaster, she recorded a voiceover for a report on the financial crisis that played at the 2009 National Party. This sounds like actual real work. I got to hand it credit here. You're in a foreign country, and this sounds like you're doing real stuff. But when she wanted to question party's officials about building standards on the anniversary of the Sichuan earthquake, she was unceremoniously sidelined. Alex has a bachelor's in political science from McGill University. All right, so worthless. You didn't want to work. Right there. I mean, it's scripted. It's so scripted. There's nothing new. Give me an electrical engineer that busted his or her ass off, learned a little bit, and then took it in. I want a different approach. How much you want to bet McGill University told her it's sexism, broken record. Glass ceiling. Oh my gosh, she comes here and here's a really cool gal. She even said it's nothing about the glass ceiling, but what are we going to talk about? I wonder. Chinese pun intended. It's kind of like she is the Manchurian candidate. You will go and you, I don't know, I'm speaking in German, but, you will be here in China, and we will train you. But unbeknownst to you, we will brainwash you so that when you go to the New York Times and you go to America, we will ring the bell. And then, even though you have great experience in writing about China and you can write about Asian markets, then you will bring out your true training that you have received at McGill and you will write about sexism and the glass ceiling, yeah? Sad. See, here's this is the potential. Alex has the ability to write about something unique because she has a unique background. She lived in China. She has insight. She worked, worked at China Radio International. Why the hell is she writing about the glass ceiling? Why do I have her singing I Want a New Drug? Oh, that's right. Political science, McGill University, no independent thought, doing exactly what she's been programmed and indoctrinated to do, blah, blah, blah. And also studied Mandarin at Liaoning, Normal University in Dalian. What's Normal University? I wonder if they have we have crappy universities, normal universities, and really good universities. She will move to New York later this summer. Well, congratulations. I'm glad that you're writing in the New York Times and you've taken your education, your intelligence, your background, and your unique background, and you're not conveying any of that in your reading, or writing rather. I'm glad that I can go and read Alexandra Stevenson stuff and see that it's the exact same fucking slop that's been served up these 30 years. Just the sad waste of human intellect and brain and capacity. Of all the crap with the internet nowadays, everything culturally around the world you can sample, either in the real world or easily digitally, on your phone, on your fucking phone. And it's the same shit. It's like being a chef, hey, you got access to all the world's recipes. And, by the way, in your kitchen, you have access to all these ingredients. You work for the New York Times. You got a huge restaurant. You have millions of people coming in. You could serve unique and interesting dishes that would be different. No, it's the same fucking ham sandwich with that's so old and so overdone, it's moldy now. Hey, the glass ceiling. Oh, the minorities are suffering. Privilege. Oh, really? Is that what's on the menu today again? Look, I'm no Ted Koppel. I'm no Michael Savage. But at least here at the Clarity Podcast and my writing and reading, it's fucking different. There's new shit. Even I have backed away the traditional, talk radio, conservative talk radio, not leftist media. All right, back 10, 15 years ago, that was new. That was edgy. 10 years ago, talking about, how men feel, shock and horror. Yeah, we like women with big tits, skinny asses, and long hair. And we don't like this feminist fucking bullshit. I mean, that's edgy. That's revolutionary. That is definitely being independent-minded. But even that gets tiring after a while. It's why, we've said everything that needs to be said. We've moved on. Conservative talk radio has been done. That doesn't mean that it should go away. There's a place for it. You got to keep on top of developing events, current events, politics. Of course, there's a role in there. Hey, and keeping on top, every once in a while like that, I thought it was actually genuinely newsworthy, the article at Return of Kings about how girls are starting to charge on Tinder. Just to Tinder with them or talk to them or chat with them, whatever. All right? That was newsworthy. That was an evolution that had yet to, but it was new. But aside from that, pretty much it's been done. We've developed the laws, we've developed the rules, we've developed the observations, we've fleshed it out. We have this body of work that has fully analyzed the dynamics between men and women and sexism and discrimination and the the false premise that women are oppressed by men and that it may actually be vice versa. We've fully explored it, and now it's time to move on. So especially after the presidential election, it's definitely time to move on. Let's try something new. I've made enough ham sandwiches. I'd like to try and make some tacos. I'd like to try and make some sushi. All this stuff. And the media people being generated and graduated from 10 to 15 to 20 years ago to today. Nope, we're going to write the same slop. It's going to be the same shit. New York Times menu, you know, the same shit you read last week. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? It's going to be the same shit this week. And it's going to be privilege. It's going to be how minorities are oppressed. It's going to be the glass ceiling for women. It's going to be how Trump sucks. Jesus, I wonder if there's going to be any difference between the Trump presidency and it being covered by the mainstream media and the Bush presidency. I wonder if you're going to call him a warmonger. Oh, never mind, old Obama. He had a lot of drone strikes and killed a lot more thus far than old Trump. And never mind that, we didn't get out of Iraq that quickly. We didn't close Guantanamo Bay. Never mind that. No, we're going to blame everything on Bush. Oh, in 8 years, we just kind of go investigate something else. Oh, now we got to go blame Republican. Oh, we got a Republican president. I wonder if they're going to blame Trump for things like they did Bush again. I wonder what's going to be on the menu this time. Same fucking shit. So congratulations to Alexandra Stevenson and Kate Kelly for literally wasting probably millions of people's hours. Millions of human hours on nothing new. On a lie. Even the Dawn Fitzpatrick said, no problems here. I didn't see any glass ceiling. It didn't affect me. We gotta spit it. Is it because it's your religion? Is that what it is? Like, you got nothing else going on? You've never had an independent thought in your guys' life that you don't dare make another recipe? You don't dare try to think outside the box? You don't dare have a new... You're comfortable with the ham sandwiches? Is you could not resist your brainwashing and you only know ham sandwiches? Have you put your entire life's value and agency into the sacred and holy ham sandwich? And that if you were to make something different, then you would lose somehow value because your entire life is hinged and pinged upon the ham sandwich? I mean, like I said before, it's just a tragic loss how much human intelligence is lost repeating the same shit and believing crap that you've been indoctrinated to believe. I've said it before. I feel horribly sorry for the vast majority of black people in the United States who are brought up, brainwashed, and conditioned to blame sexism, discrimination, bigotry. What's the other one I was going for? It's just that they are victim pigeonholed, if that's even a verb that I'm trying to go. They are conditioned and brainwashed to view themselves as the victim to an extent they actually believe it, which begats inaction. Futility, which then results in a self-fulfilled prophecy, where by the time they're on their deathbed and they look back and they say, God, what did I do? I didn't try. I was always told I couldn't do it. I never gave it a shot. It was always whitey, it was always discrimination, it was always the system, it was always the man, but you never gave it a shot because you were lied and indoctrinated to. Think about all the journalism, quote, majors and political science majors out there. Oh, they want to be writers. They want to be journalists. It's like, oh, you got this whole planet. You even got the universe to go in. You could write about space. You could write about astronomy. They got unlimited stuff, unlimited. And here's this catalyst. Here's this platform. You got the New York fucking Times. No, you're just gonna write the same shit that's been written the past 30 years. This is why podcasts. This is why the alternative media is. That's why where the future is. I dropped out of politics. I don't care. Like, people ask, what do you think about Trump and Syria? I'm like, I don't know enough about Syria. I don't care. You know what? My life is too short. I'm not going through that again. I did, however, discover, and you guys might want to write this one down, the BBC, I know, you don't like government, I know. The BBC in our time, they got a great treasure trove of podcasts. I learned about the Mali Empire. I learned about the Dutch East India Trading Company. I learned about Saturn. I learned about Pluto. I learned all this shit I got more intellectually stimulated listening to that than reading this crap farted out by Alexandra and the other gal. Because it was new. It was like, oh, I didn't know that. All this new stuff the Cassini spacecraft is figuring about Saturn we didn't know even 6 months ago. It was great. It was like, oh, this is new. This is a different dish. This is the spice of life. These people just fart out cardboard and serve it as their goddamn ham sandwich. Anyway, thank you, Alexandra and Katie. I really appreciated that article. I'm sure that really advanced society. I'm sure that helped close the wage gap. The mere bitching and whining about it you guys have been doing the past 30 years. How about this? I will challenge. I'm going to send this. I'll put this up on the video. And this is a challenge to both of these authors, journalists, writers. I challenge you to, separately, don't go cahoots on this. Write an article that's interesting and different and about a topic that has not been done before. Come up with a new recipe. Come up with a new dish. I don't care what it's on. I don't care if I disagree with it. You could write about some aspect of communism or socialism and how it's great. I came up with a piece. I am obviously not a socialist, but I had to highlight, I had to point out that the socialists were successful. There is a working model of communism and socialism. It's called Silicon Valley. They've duped hundreds of thousands of suckers to go and work and pay tax rates of around 50 to 60% to support a parasitic class. And I'm being deadly serious when I say that. That is the first functioning real-world working model of communism that has worked. Took a lot of brainwashing and billions of dollars to brainwash a generation, but they got it. It quote, works. That's a new, interesting line of thought, a new intellectual exercise. Seriously, both of you write something new. It doesn't have to be about politics. Matter of fact, let's not make it politics because that's what you've been conditioned to write about. Write something different. Write something that when you write for the New York Times or when you write it on your blog, I'll send you more traffic than your Twitter followers will. Say, here's an interesting, intellectually stimulating article about the history of paper. And that will be more interesting than an article number 3,478,296,173rd article about the glass ceiling. Write an article about dachshunds. Write an article about ticks that infect dachshunds. Write an article about Lyme disease. Write some fucking thing before you guys die, and then you're dying there on your deathbed saying, oh, all I did was write about what people told me to write about. Oh, I guess I wasted my life. Good. And then you're dead. And you know what? No one's going to remember you. No one will remember the fuck who you are or were because you wrote some shitty-ass book that you couldn't parlay or leverage your prominent online media and traditional media presence to actually make a damn in the world. And there's some idiot. You wonder why us no-name pajama media type bloggers and podcasters can actually get traction and write pieces that are going to be remembered well off after we're dead. Because we're different. All right, I think I beat that to death. We got any more news?